So studios in Pega, which we have already gone through yesterday. Now let's jump into the other topic called creation of an application. So what's an application in Pega? Application is nothing but a rule. So each and everything that you develop is considered as a rule. So application is also a rule. So creation of an application is something which we'll be learning today. The next topic after creation of application. So while we are creating an application, we'll understand what are the application types present in Pega. Okay, what are the application types that are present in Pega? We have different application types, like the application type called framework layer, implementation application, component application. So we have different application types, which I will be walking through. The third one is the creation of an operator instance. Okay, creation of an operator instance is creating a separate operator to access that application. And the fourth one is the understanding of background rules when application is created. So this is the most important question that is being asked in an interview. Acha, you told that you're creating an application. Can you tell me what are the rules that got created while you're creating an application? This is an important question which is very important. This we will be learning it. Okay. So the four things. First, we'll be understanding what's an application. What are the steps that we need to do for creating an application, and then understanding creation of an operator instance. And the last one is creation, like understanding what are the background rules that got created when application is created. Okay. Next, I'll show you this is structure of an application. So before you create any application, it's very important for you to understand structure. Okay. If you are in so usually the applications will be created by LSA, the system architect of that Pega application will be creating it. Even though if he creates it, it's very important for him to understand which layer of that application he is going to create. So I will explain you what are the layers that are present in Pega. Before we understand this topic, I will go to the next screen and come back to the screen later. This is the screen where structure of an application. So we have different structures for for an application that is being developed. It follows some structure. The first structure is that the first structure we'll be having called Pega platform layer. What is Pega platform layer? So we are using or we are consuming Pega software. Pega provides us a Pega platform layer where we can reuse the rules which they have already built. Okay, Pega platform layer is something which Pega already provided to us. We'll be using those rules. The second thing is the enterprise layer. What is enterprise layer? So let's consider, I will give a good example for you. If you can take Amazon application. What happens for an Amazon application? Amazon is, let's consider Amazon is built on Java. Okay, if Amazon is built on Java, then the first structure, the base structure will be Java built by Amazon. Here we have Pega platform layer. There it will be Java. Then the enterprise layer is something which is common for all the regions. Amazon as an application is not only built for India, but it also built for America, Australia, Canada, and for each different regions in the across the globe, it varies different structure. So what are the rules that are common? Like buying the product. So you are selecting a product, you are viewing the product, you are adding it to cart. These things remain same for all the regions, right? Irrespective of the currency, the things that are remain same fall under enterprise layer. The framework is also same, where the framework is depending upon the region itself. Everything remains same in framework. It's very important for you to understand whether you want to go for a framework layer or enterprise layer. So let's consider Amazon is not only offers you odd option of placing an order. There is Amazon Prime also, which is built by Amazon application team. We have Amazon Books, where you will be reading books. So so it's not only with respect to Amazon. We have Amazon Store for individuals who wants to access store and buy something directly from offline. So framework is something individual things. So for entire application, if you consider Amazon, Amazon is not only a single application, it contains different layers. So starting from the scratch, that is it built from Java, it will be moving to different, it will be migrating to different regions, right? So enterprise layer is something which is common for all the regions. The framework is how that application is divided into. Amazon is divided into Amazon.in, where you can order goods. Next, Amazon is divided into Amazon Prime, where you can watch movies. Amazon Music is something which is divided into is a part of another layer. So we have different frameworks here. The division is something which is divided, again it is divided into different things. So if we consider Amazon Music, Amazon Music is not only for India, so Amazon Music is also available for US. Amazon.in is not only for India. Amazon.in is available for UK, US, and Canada. So the division of the individual application can be done using division layer. Okay, implementation is something which is the high end where you will be developing the implementation layer. Okay, so let me rephrase it again. So let's consider Amazon as an application. How we can understand the structure of an application? It's very simple. The first thing, that Amazon application is built on Java. If we assume that it's built on Java, then Pega platform layer, which we are rephrasing here, will take the place of Java. The Java platform layer is of which Amazon is built. Then enterprise layer, the thing that is common for all the applications. It can be Amazon Music, it can be Amazon.India, it can be Amazon Prime, it can be Amazon Music. Okay, it can be Amazon Books. Okay, for all the different implementation applications, what are the thing that is common will come and will place it in enterprise layer. Okay, the framework is also same. So each and every application that you built on, can be Amazon Music, we call it as Amazon, which comes in one framework. Then Amazon.in. So Amazon.in is something for ordering electronics. So that comes in another framework. So if you consider an application, it doesn't fit directly either to an implementation or division or framework. Application will be structured in a manner so that it can be reused in multiple ways. So we are creating an application. It means that that application should be accessible for everyone, that should be reused everyone, and that can be scalable everywhere. That's why structure of an application is very important. So before you create an application, it's very important for you to do case study. You will be understanding what are the do's and don'ts that you need to do, how this application should go, in which layer should place. So everything we'll be discussing it while we creating an application. For now, just understand we'll be having different structures. These are the structure that we will follow. If I go back to the screen, if I come here, this is structure of an application which you can see here. So the first block that you're seeing is the implementation application built on framework application layer. So in Pega, we have an option Pega. Pega provides us Pega rules, which will be the base product. Over that will be, let's consider Pega is also started a new, they are not only selling Pega's platform as service, they are also selling few framework applications as well. So let's consider you want to build a banking application. So what they have done, they have created one framework for themselves where they will be selling it. You'll be going to Pega, you'll ask them, can you please show me what are the framework installed applications that are available to you? They'll be helping you. For banking applications, it's the framework installed application. They'll be giving an overview of it. Now, what you will be doing it after you understanding there, the thing that is there at their end, if you feel that is feasible for you, you will buy it and you'll directly install it directly, and will be working on the other components instead of you developing the application from end to end. Whatever the thing that they have built. So Pega not only provide Pega platform, but also Pega provides installed application framework. Okay, there is installed application framework for banking, installed application framework for finance, installed application framework for insurance, or each and everything. They have already built installed application framework for their end. They will be selling it if you want. And the topmost, the third layer is a framework application. From Pega 8 7.2, Pega recommended not to use framework application. Before 7.2, they have recommended to use framework application. But why Pega recommended us not to use framework application from 7.2? It's because we can implement, usually before 7.2, what happened, if there's an implement application, we cannot create an implementation application over an implement applications, and there is no component applications created at that time. I will show you what is a component, what is the advantage of component, why component is important, so that framework application can be removed. So for now, just understand framework application is something which is common for multiple implement applications. In this case, if you consider Amazon, implement application 1 will be Amazon.in, implementation application 2 will be Amazon Books, implementation application 3 will be Amazon Music. Okay, so we have three implementation applications for Amazon. These three implementation applications will act on one framework application which Amazon will create. On the top, they will be having installed application, or they will be having Java as the application. Is it clear? If you having any doubt, let me know. I will explain it again. Okay, let me explain it again. So structure of an application is very important. The reason why structure of an application is very important, because the main why you're creating an application, the application should be accessible by everyone. This is the first thing that you need to understand. Second thing, the application should be reused. If you are creating an application, it means that that should be reused. The third thing is the application should be scalable. You need to scale that application to different regions. Okay, these are three things which you need to keep in mind when you create an application. So while creating an application, you need to do some case study. After doing case study, you will understand, acha, this should be built by Pega platform. So Pega is service providing Pega rules. So we have Pega platform providing all the rules. That is the base layer. Okay, that is the ground layer. On the top, if you want Pega installed framework applications, Pega will provide that as well. You just go to and provide you, they will be providing a KT session of that. If you feel that that will help you, you will take the help of them by paying some certain amount of money, and you get that framework installed application for your application. On the top we'll be having framework application, and above that we'll be having implementation application. Before 7.1 version, Pega suggested us to use framework application because at that time we don't have component application picture. After 7.2, Pega recommended us to use only implementation application without framework. The reason being, it's there is a redundancy which is faced by many individuals, which I will be showing it in the later classes. You will be understanding this picture very clearly after 5 to 6 classes. For now, just understand we have a Pega platform as the base layer. On the top, we have Pega installed applications. If you want to install it from there, then we have a framework application and we have a implementation application. But what is the recommended approach for Pega 8 and version above? You can see implementation application without a framework layer. This is something which is recommended, and this is recommended to use. Okay, whenever we create an application, we'll follow second approach where we'll be creating application by taking Pega platform as a base layer without framework layer. Okay, this structure of an application. Yeah, so let me go to Pega environment. I will show you how to create an application. I'll walk through of each and every application types that are present in Pega. So this is how the landing page of Pega login page looks like. I just created one dummy operator profile. I will show you how this needs to be created. So when I try to log in now, you can see this is how the Pega landing page looks like. This is a Dev Studio, which we have yesterday we have gone to Dev Studio as well. For creating a new application, we have two things. First thing, this is the create menu. You can create anything. So if you can create any rule, we have application definition application. We have this type. You can create it from here, or you have this application drop down. You can create new application. So we don't have here option to create new application. I'll show you. You go to application definition, application. You can create application from here, but the most important, the most suggested application way to create from here. I will do one thing. I will show you the other way as well. So you have this new application. You got this option new application, right? Earlier for dummy user, I don't have that privilege. But for PRPC administrator, which Pega has provided to us, that is the access group which you can use to create anything. So now I'm going and creating new application. Just create new application. Click on new application. You have here built from scratch. So you want to create an application from scratch. You'll be selecting this option. So we have two things here. Theme Cosmos traditional architecture and Cosmos React latest architecture. I will tell you what is this two different types. For best example, for people who are business analysts or managers, they'll be using App Studio. For them, they will be going with Cosmos React. But for us, we'll be understanding more about App Studio and Dev Studio. We'll be going with Theme Cosmos for now. Okay. The differences between Theme Cosmos and Cosmos React, I will cover in the later class. Here it's asking for naming your application. I'm giving OBC loan application. You can give the naming convention of your type. I'm just following this pattern as OBC loan app is my application name. Before you click create application, you have this option called advanced configurations. Click on this one. You can see which type you want to select, framework or application. So if you go here, as mentioned, Earlier, 7 point, till 7.1 version, we used to follow framework application layer, but from 7.2, it's recommended to use application type as implementation. Okay, so you just it's already selected as default as implementation layer. So you can see, I will just explain you when it is implementation layer, what are things that are important for us. The application settings is as implementation. You know, application ID is the one that you give as application name. You can see organized settings. We have organization, division, unit. Okay, organization, division, unit. Let's consider we have in a project we have 30 people. In 30 people, 30 people belongs to one organization. Okay, in the 30 people we have 4 teams. So each and every team is named as division. Okay, in each and every team we have 8 people. So 8 people named as unit. So we have organization, division, unit. You know, this will help to identify the portion of the work that we'll be doing along with the portion of the application. So does it application belongs to unit layer or division layer or organization layer can be identified by using this type. Okay, you can modify it. I'm just giving it as OBC. You can give whatever thing that you want. I'm giving OBC, division will be division, unit is unit. Okay, this is for organization settings. And we have this class layer as well. What is a class layer? So what is a class layer? Why we require a class? So whatever the rules that you create, so it can be an application rule, or it can be a property, or it can be anything. The thing, whatever the thing that you create will go and sit in work class. Okay, whatever the thing that you create with respect to application, either that can be that go and sit in work class or data class. Okay, for now just understand we have different classes. In order to create a class layer, this is very important for you to have this class layer created. If you want to create a division layer for your class, you can select this option. If you want to create a division layer for your class, you can select this option. And if you want to create unit layer for that as well, you can select this option. Okay, this is the application structure which we will follow. For now, I'm not going much about this division layer or unit layer. I'm just reducing the amount of work that we're going to do for now. After 5 to 6 classes, you will understand what is organized structure, which organized structure you need to follow. Okay, so let's understand we have this class layer as well. This is the implementation part. What if the application is selected as framework? What is the difference that you're going to get between the implementation as application type or framework as application type? If I just navigate to framework, you can see you got this option for the class structure as FW. Okay. If I go to implementation, you can see there is no FW, but in framework, you got this FW. FW is the keyword that is used to differentiate between the implementation and framework. Okay, everything remains same. Organization is organization, division is division. I mean, application is application. Work will be work, but you will be having an extra keyword called framework. Okay, this will help to identify whether the application type for whatever the class that they give you. So let's consider you are in an interview. He will provide you two class structures. Okay, the two class structures may be OBC framework hyphen OBC work. I'll tell you. So let's consider we have first class OBC hyphen bank loan hyphen work. Next, we have the other class type, other class structure, OBC, framework, bank loan, work. So in an interview, we tell you I have these two classes. Can you identify which class this is belong? You need to tell this class belongs to implementation layer and this class belongs to framework layer. For each and every class, it definitely have this FW as a keyword in framework layer. Okay, this is very important. For framework layer, what are the class structure it has? So let's consider I'm having the same class structure. This is for data layer. Okay. Then we have same class structure for integration layer. So it can be different classes. For each and every class that we define for framework, it contains FW as a keyword. Okay. Implementation class remains same without a framework layer. This will be data instances and this will be the integration instances. I'm just giving an example where how you need to differentiate between an implementation layer and a framework layer. Okay. Let's jump back to the previous application type. There's a difference between the application type for framework and implementation. As a best practice, what we're going to do, someone asks you, This is the important question that we will be getting or asked in interview. You're an LSA. Let's consider you're an LSA. You want to create an application. What you will be doing? Will you be creating application in framework or implementation layer? You should tell them you will be creating it in implementation layer. The reason why? Because we have an option. We have in Pega they have developed component applications. We will be using the component applications going forward. I will be showing where exactly the component applications are present, how to use it. Okay. After 7.2, it's suggested to use implementation application type. Okay. This is the thing. We'll be giving application type as the implementation, and I'm just clicking save. If you go back here, you can see, well, from application, we have selected this one. We have selected this theme Cosmos. Then we are giving obviously application, obviously loan app. Before you create,
Can you
click on
explain that version? What is that version?
version. Good question. So what does this version mean? So each and let's consider if you're using a mobile, best example is that you're using a mobile. What is the Android version that you have in a mobile? Latest Android version is having 13 or 14, right? So for each and every version. So earlier what happened in Android version, Android 11 or 12, you may be not having much updates. So whenever there is a new installation, let's consider you are using there is something got changed in your mobile view. So if you can see in latest version of Android 14, they have added many features. So all the features that you will be creating, you will be creating it in a version and storing it. Whenever you start an application, you will be creating the version as 010101. Later, any new enhancements that you want to do, you'll be creating it in the other version. The highest version which will be 010102, followed by 010103. So we have major version, minor version, and patch version, which I will be explaining in a separate lecture. For now, just understand any enhancements that you're doing, you'll be doing it in the version. And whatever the new enhancements that are coming, you'll be moving it to the next versions. The highest version will have the highest enhancements. The lowest versions we may not have all the requirements. Okay. If we consider the Lenovo, it started with fourth generation. Now it is in 14th generation. So the evaluation of the generation from fourth to 14th defines that the development of their software. So it means that if you're developing any software, the highest version will have all the options or all the privileges compared to the lowest version. Am I clear?
Yeah, can you tell me what is this major, minor, and patch in this
Okay.
3001?
So this is the major 01. This is the minor. This is the patch. Okay. For small changes, so let's consider this is minute changes that you're doing for your platform. Then we'll be going with the patch versions. There is a minor change that you're doing, then you'll going with the minor change versions and the major one. Okay. We have three different types: major, minor, and patch. So depending upon the change, we'll be going with different versions. Okay. Any doubts? So the first part will be this is the major one. The next part is the minor one. The last one is the patch. Okay. This got changed. So once you start developing the application, so whenever we create any rule, we'll be creating it in the highest version and deploying it. We will be creating a branch and we'll be deploying it, which you will be learning in the next classes. It will give you a clear picture. Once you start creating the rules, you will understand what is a minor version, what is the importance of major version or patch version which you are working on. Okay. Just clicking create application. Now you can see we are creating an application called OBC Loan app, right? Application got created. Now I want to this now only I can access this application. I want some other person to access that application. You can create a new one. Let me create my email ID. I want to have access to this one. Okay, what I will do, you can create or you can add it. So you can add, you can see for this email ID, I got this password. You need to note down this password to access this application. And also you can once you create the application, inside your application as well, you have that option to provide access to individuals. Okay, this is the first way where you will be providing access to an individual. There is another way I will be showing you after explaining you application types. Can just I've just noted this down, right? You can go to app. If you click and go to app, it will land to the application. You can see immediately whenever we create an application, it's landed to App Studio. Why it didn't land to Dev Studio or Admin Studio? There is some reason. So if any studio is selected as a default, so let's consider you're having four studios, access to four studios. Whatever the thing that is selected as default value, you will be landing there. Okay, I will go to the Dev Studio. In Dev Studio, I will be showing you what is application definition, or what are the rule sets that got created, what are the rules that are very important for you to learn, so that if someone asks you what are the rules that got created when you create an application, you should take note of it. Okay, we are an application called OBC app. Just go here, click on here. Now we're going to application definition. In application definition, you will understand everything. Okay, you can see here application OBC loan app is built on theme Cosmos. To build application, we are using Pega feature called Theme Cosmos. We are building the application on Theme Cosmos, which Pega provided to us. We are not using framework layer. The reason why I've told not to use framework layer is because we have this enabled components. This is a separate component topic which we'll be learning it. So components nothing but an individual application. If you want to use any application instead of you creating a framework layer, you can directly plug in that component. You can give the component name here, and there are no components present. You can use the version, use it. We'll be creating one component as separate lecture. For now, just understand that for an application, we can have few components to be created, whatever the rules that are there. Similarly, like you are having Theme Cosmos as a Pega version. If I click on this one, inside Theme Cosmos, you can see it is built on Pega rules. Theme Cosmos is built on Pega rules. Again, you can see inside Pega rules, you can see these are all the rules that are present. These are rules that are provided by Pega. It's nothing but the OBC application. What are the application you can see is built on Pega Theme Cosmos. The Theme Cosmos is built on Pega rules. Pega rules have different rule sets. Okay. If you go here, understand clearly Pega platform. So Pega platform is the one that I have showed you. That is Theme Cosmos. Theme Cosmos. Here this is the Theme Cosmos. So this OBC application is built on Theme Cosmos, but Theme Cosmos is built on Pega rules. Okay, this is a Pega structure which we are using it. OBC application. Now we can see in OBC, we have this scheme rule. What is scheme rule, man? What is scheme rule? Scheme rule is nothing but how the UI structure look like. When you develop an application, you can see UI with different colors. If you open any application in your phone, what are the UI that you can see? If that is developed by Pega, that falls under scheme rule. Scheme rule is nothing but the presentation that you want to look and feel of an application falls under scheme rule. So Pega will create skin rule automatically when you create an application. You can customize the skin rule as per your requirement. Regarding the customization part, we have a separate lecture. I will be telling you how we can customize the buttons. So if you have any buttons, if you want to display or if you want to modify the structure, UI structure which you're seeing on the screen, you can do it by modifying the skin rule. So we have this skin rule called OBC load app, which is created automatically by Pega when you create an application. From here, you need to modify what are the things that you want to modify. You can modify it here. That will reflect on the screen. What is this application alias? What is application alias? If I try to search this application alias, I'm going to hit it here. You can see I can log into this application directly. So let's try log into this application with the credentials that we have. Will it work? So first it is asking for to change the password. I'm giving the correct password and I'm giving you password as rules. You can give whatever the password you want to do by giving rules. Click change. landed with the application directly. You are landed into OBC application or app because you're having access to that application. So here, if you can understand application URL alias is something. If you're having access to the application, you can directly hit this URL and access it. This is something about application alias URL. In advance, you have this production rule sets, which I will be covering in the later topic. We will be parking this for now. Let's understand the rule sets. I've already mentioned that application, each and every rule that you develop will fall under rule set. This is the latest. This you can see 010101 is a rule set that starts with application development. Later, it will be moving to higher versions 0102, 0103, 0199 maybe. Thereafter, we have 02, we have 03. So rule sets can be varied. With the help of rule sets, we'll be learning the inheritance structure as well. That's a separate topic. So application rule sets are also created. We have this application OBC loan app created for this rule set, and we also have this OBC loan app int. Why we have this integration layer? OBC loan app int is nothing but the integration rules. If you are integrating with third-party system, it's very important for you to have all those rules in this OBC loan app integration, so that any person who is developing that application will understand it. What are the rules that are there in this? That means that Pega is integrated with those systems. If you are integrating with the third party system, if you're consuming the service, it's recommended to use integration class, integration rule sets, so that any person who is developing that application will understand that these rules are there in this integration layer. It means that so and so application, the third party system is being used by Pega. So OBC roadmap is the implementation and we have OBC as organization. These are the things that are related to the rule sets. If you go with respect to case and data tab, you can see case and data. If you create any case type, this case type creation is something which we will be learning on Tuesday. If you what are the case type that you create for this application, you can see that are getting displayed directly here. You will be not adding it here. What are the things that you create for case types or what are the things that you create for data types, automatically that will be moved here. Okay. We can skip for application wizard and documentation for now. Let's understand the security tab. Security tab is something which is very important. We can see the security tab. If you want to update anything in this application layer, if you take this one, require password to update. Now you can see I'm updating everything. If I want to update anything here, I can directly update it because it will not ask me for password. But do you think that everyone can update it? No, the person who is in charge of that application, it means LSA of that application or the manager of that application has the privilege to update it. So what they will be doing it, they will be not sharing password to us. They will be using this password, using this option to update password so that any modification that you want to do on this application definition, that can be done only by them. Okay, this is the application definition. Now what we'll do. So the main class or main topic for today is to understand understanding application types. It's done. Creation of application is done. Creation of an operating instance, let's park it for some time. The fourth one, understanding of background rules when application is created. This is the most important question for any interview that you're going to. I'll tell you. If you want to know what are the application rules that got created while you create an application, just go here. If you can see, we have this configure. If you click on configure application development recent actions. Want to find all the rules that got created when an application is created. Follow this process, click on configure. Next, configure application development window. This is someone how is different from constellation. I will be telling you after this uh, after this application creation and all this stuff. I will tell you how this constellation different with infinity. So you need to you need to switch on configure application development recent actions. Okay, configure application development recent actions. Okay, you can follow this process not only with respect to application creation. Let's consider you are modifying something. If you are modifying anything with respect to your name, if you are modifying something, everything will be captured in recent actions. Okay, just go ahead. Let's go here. So application development recent actions. You can see the last 9 minutes. You can see last these are the things that got created in the last 9 minutes. So you can see rule sets got created, rule set versions got created, classes got created, schedule got created, application got created, routing table, product rule, access rule name, rule sets. So you can categorize this one. Someone asks you what are the things that got created when you create an application. You need to tell that these are the things that got created. Not able to copy it. Okay, let me share it offline to you. So let's understand what each and everything. What is access role name? We have gone to the application which we have seen. We have class got created. What is this class? Let me filter with this class. You can see this created this many classes. OBC is a class. OBC framework is a class. OBC data is a class. OBC int is a class. Next we have OBC LUNAP is a class. So we have different classes here. If you want to see what are the classes that got created, you can click on this app explorer. If you click on this app explorer, if I click on app explorer here, you can see OBC LUNAP work. I'll just remove this one. Just I will come from the organization layer. OBC is the organization layer. In this organization layer, we have OBC. If I click on OBC here, you can see OBC is having OBC data, OBC framework, OBC int. Next, if you select OBC data, what it will be? You can see the class structure of this one as OBC data, organization data layer. Now the application is developed in, we are developing this application OBC load app. So click on this OBC load app. You can see the instances of this application will fall under OBC load app. We can expand this one. We'll be developing all the rules in OBC work. This is where we'll be developing everything. So I'm just clicking here. We will, I'll do one thing. So where we'll be developing it, OBC loan app work. So all the rules that you develop first will be creating it in OBC loan app work. If you want to create, if you want to use the reusability, you will be creating it in OBC layer. So this how it will be. If you go here, understand this one. Implementation application 1 is one that we created, it's called OBC loan app. Implementation application 2 is something which we have created as OBC loan app. We have another application maybe uh, so future source. So we can have multiple application as implementation layers, and whatever the organization that falls under implementation can be reused. Go back here. This is how the organization structure looks like. You can create any rules here. If I go back again to this place, you can see we have understood what is the skill rule is done. Product. What is this product? So let me click on this type. Class is done. Persona is something. If you click on this persona, you can see a new persona is created. The role name as users. Product is something which is very important. I will tell you what is the importance of this product. If you click on this product, we go back to this product. You can see we have this product created. It's not contain snapshot of full. Okay, no issues. We go back here. What is the importance of this product? Why product role is important? Let's consider you have created this application. If you want to migrate this application to other place, okay, already you have created the application. Once you want to migrate this new application created to other environment, okay, then you will be importing this product. You'll be downloading this product and importing into the new environment. So regarding this product rule creation as well as import and export, we have a separate lecture called deployment. We'll be learning it. Just understand what are the rules that got created. If someone asks you what are the rules that got created, you should tell them that it will create the access for them, application, routing table, rule sets, skin, rule set versions, everything. So for started with rule sets, it will create the rule sets. What is the rule sets? I'll go back here again. If you can see, this is a rule set. OBC loan app is a rule set. OBC loan app int is a rule set. OBC is a rule set. OBC int is a rule set. What is the other thing that it will create? Rule set versions. So you can see versions. What are the versions here? 0101. So if you open this one, if you open any one of the rule set, you can see rule set versions got created. So these are the versions you can see 010101. These are the versions that will Pega create. Next, we have the classes for OBC organization layer and OBC loan app layer. We have skin rule. Skin rule is used for this. What's the advantage of skin rule? If you want to display or if you want to modify the UI structure, you will be using skin rule to do it. Next, application definition is very important. This is the place where you can find all the details of an application. Routing table. If you want to route with respect to different individuals, we will be using routing table. Routing table is a separate lecture. Product is separate lecture. Access role name is also separate lecture. For now, to understand what is access role name, I will show you. If I just click any one of these, from here it's not showing. I'll do one thing. Go back to the studio again. If you click on this operator, if you go here, you can see this is the access group for which your application is having access. If you're not having this in your operator profile, it means that you're not having access to your application. For you, if you want to access any application, it's very important for you to have that access group of that application. Without you having this one, you will not access this application. If you just go into this access group, you can see we have this access role names. Access role names is separate topic. For just now understand that for any security things like for access things, any access things, or if you want to restrict something, access groups and access rules comes into picture. Access rules and access rules are something which helps to which acts as security feature. Without you having access group or without you having access roles, you cannot access the application or you cannot modify the application. Okay, then rule sets which I already talked the application. Let me type it here. I will be sharing this PDF to you. First, we'll create application. First, it will create an application. Application. Inside application, we have scheme rule. Then we have rule sets. We have rule set versions. We have classes, class structure, for organization and implementation as well. What else we have? Go back here. See what else. Access rule names, access groups I have mentioned, which we missed. Routing table for routing. We have product. If you want to migrate, this is for if you want to migrate the application to other environment. Routing table is for routing techniques. Next, we have product is done, routing table is done, class is done. There is something access role name. This should be also access role name. Okay, this is for security and privilege. Clear? So if someone asks you what are the whenever you create an application, what are the rules that will be getting created, you should tell them it will create an application rule name followed by skin rule set versions, classes for organization and implementation class, routing table for routing techniques, product if you want to migrate the application to other environment, access role name for security and privilege. Clear? Any doubts for if you feel that I'm going fast, let me know. I can reduce the speed. It's very important for you to understand each and everything that we're learning here. It's not like you're attending the class. It's also very important you to pay the attention. If I miss something or if I'm going fast, if I miss something, let me know. I will reiterate it.
How do we want to defaultly set that to studio? It's
Okay,
going
good
to apps right
good
now.
question. Yeah, good question. So that's a good question. So if I'm having access to this application, right? OBS one app. How I'm having access for this application? It means that for this operator, I'm having this as the access group, correct? If I'm having access to this access group, then I can access the application. And the default, if you can see the studio's default, this is present inside this access group. If you go inside this access group, you can see Page Express is nothing but the App Studio. User portal, if you can see here, if you click on this one, you have this user portal. Developer is the Dev Studio. Prediction Studio is the Prediction Studio. What I will do, now I'm having default as the App Studio, right? I'm having PX Express is the App Studio. I'm having this as the default. So I'm having this is the default one. And inside default one, I'm having PX Express. Now what happens if I log off and log in? So just refreshing it, you can see it is there in App Studio. The reason being this OBC application's default one, and inside that default one, we are having App Studio. No, I don't want App Studio every time when I refresh it. I want Dev Studio. You can select this Dev Studio as developer one, save it, refresh it. Got it? This is how you will be setting default portals.
Why in this application this admin studio is not there?
You can add it. So depending upon the requirement, you can add it. Admin Studio. Admin Studio is something which we will be adding it. PX Admin Studio, you can add it directly. There is no such restriction as this application should have these types. For security purpose, as mentioned by you, if you are creating any access group, let's consider in our project we have 30 people. In that 30 people, there is some admin team where we'll be carrying out the administrative access. So we don't want that admin studio for support people or for other individuals or for testing individuals who don't have admin studio. We'll be deleting it and we'll be providing that access group to them. So it's all depending upon situation which you want to act. Clear? Nice interaction. I just want this interaction to be continued. If you're having any doubts, you can ask me. I'll clarify it right away. The last topic for today's class is creation of an operator instance. This is something which we have never done. At the time of creating an application, we have provided access to this user. So for this user, we have provided access and the password got created. But what in the meantime, so in the middle of an application creation, what if I want to provide access to some other individual? It's very easy. Go to records, organization, operator ID. Records, organization, operator ID. If you can find all the list of operators present in the system. That's the topic for today. Creation of an operator and providing access. Okay. Here's the other topic where first navigate to records, organization, and operator ID. This is a place where you can find the place where you can find all the list of operator entities. Where you can find all all the operator instances. Now, if you want to create new instance, we can do it two ways. You can just click on create here. You can click on create. You can provide operator ID. So let's consider OBC test ID. I'm giving create this OBC test ID. Go and create and open. For this one, I can give the first name, like the full ID. You can give the email ID. And this one, this you want access for which application? You want this for OBC application loan app, right? So this is the default one. When you click save, it will ask that you need to update the organized division unit, which you will be doing it now. You can click organization. What is the organization that you want to keep? I want to keep it for OBC application. The division that you want to keep, div, and unit name, you need to give unit. And it's asking to update the password. Please enter the password. So go to security, update password. I'm giving it as rules. Just save it. It's done. So now your new operator ID got created. This is the first way that we will be doing it. Now let's consider this is done. Now there is other person in your application. This we have another person who onboarded your project. Instead of you creating it from here, the most recommended way by anyone is to open any one of this operator present in your application. Let's consider OBC test ID is present. You can do simply save as of this user. Just click on save as. Instead of it will directly assign all those things. OBC test ID 2. We have the second user who onboarded your application. You can click save as and modify everything here. Access you don't want to modify it because this is the thing that you're expected. Now work calls you don't want to modify it because he falls under this work layer only. Just you need to update the password here. Here,
Don't update password. Many options are there, right? What is all that one?
yeah, I will tell you. This first one, this is an unattended operator, which is for robotic automation. You can create this option as this is an unattended operator. So these don't have the privilege of log in and log off, but you will be using it for robotic process automation. You will be selecting this option. Other rule checkout is something, if you want to modify any rule in Pega, it's very important for you to have this option enabled. All the application, if you're having, though you're having access to this application, though the rules are present in this application, if you're not having this checkout enabled, you can't do private edit. This the separate lecture which we'll be understanding in the later classes. Use external authentication instead of you logging in with this with this URL. Usually there are two types of operators. We call it as SSO and non-SSO. SSO operators comes under the one they will be using external authentication. When you use external authentication option, you can see starting activity to execute. You can so if you can see use external authentication option, there is no such thing called force of password change on next login. If you select this use external authentication, though you have this password updated here, it will not take this password. It will take the password of the user. So we have two different types of login screens, SSO, non-SSO. The one which we are working on is a non-SSO one. So this will be disabled. For SSO ones, I will show you my application which we are currently working on in the later classes. You'll understand what's an SSO, non-SSO. Disable operator, if you're giving disable operator, it means that operator will not have privilege to login. If you click disable operators, you can't access Pega application. Okay. More about these two things we will be discussing in the next classes. For now, just understand allow rule checkout. If you want to do private edit on any rule, you have the checkout and check-in option. For that option to have enabled, you need to enable this option. Use external authentication, it's especially for SSO users who will be logging to the application. What are the applications that we are working on with development? All falls under non-SSO. And there was a question raised by Meghana regarding how it is different from constellation. Best example I can give you. In constellations, we don't have the sections. So if you are aware of sections in Pega, we'll be creating all the rules, all the US structure instructions, sections. But if you consider the constellation, in constellation, we don't have sections, we have views. The last 5 days or last 10 days, we'll be talking about constellation and App Studio. But for now, just understand the configuration thing that we're doing for constellation and uh, the normal version, the normal theme Cosmos will be entirely different. Okay. Any questions?
This constellation and the smart dispute, all this are framework or what is that one?
Constellation is the way you're developing the application. We have used traditional UI, right? At the start of development. If you want that application to be developed as part of Constellation, you can do it. When you're creating an application, if you click on application definition, if the application is developed on Constellation, you have this built-on application as the Constellation one. And Smart Dispute is also something so built-on applications only. All the things that falls under built-on applications are the Constellation also falls under built-on application. Either it can be a Pega Smart Dispute that also falls under built-on applications. The way you build the application will vary so that if you are going with Pega Smart Dispute, the architecture will vary. The rule configurations will vary. If you're configuring an application as a constellation, then the application architecture will be entirely different. It all falls as a built on
Okay, in
application.
this Team Cosmos, the version is showing us 4.1, right? How it came 4.1?
This is Pega, which is already provided. If you don't want this 0401, you can just click down arrow. You can also opt for the minor versions. In minor versions, if you opt 0101, you don't have an option to the 0201, 0301 rules will not be picked. If you are in highest version, whatever the lowest versions that are there before this one will be picked. This is how Pega designed. This is the Pega's inbuilt theme Cosmos which they are providing to us.
Okay. Now this we are learning for Pega developer, right? For Pega admin, what we want to learn? Any specific thing we want to learn?
Pega admin, yeah, Pega admin. You will be understanding what is an admin studio, which I will be covering up. How you will be, uh, I will be giving a separate KT on PDC also. PDC is something if there is any issue that got triggered in your application. how you are going to concentrate, how you will be resolving it. There's another separate topic, how you will be debugging an application errors, logs. So everything comes under admin studio. And any updates that we got from Pega. Let's consider this is Pega the Cosmos 0401. If there is another version that got deployed by Pega, they will be providing you the product. The way you will be importing that product into this application, there is separate process which I will be explaining it. For admin or for a support or for developer, it's very important for you to understand all the Pega architecture which we will be covering up. And if you're applying for admin role, we have separate 5 to 6 topics which will be covering it. That is PDC, checking the alerts, I mean checking each and every configuration admin studio, how we will be developing or importing the package once Pega provided us to us. That's how it is.
Okay. Is the scope for Pega admin is there or not only for Pega developer is there?
No, no. So scope for admin is also there. So let's consider what happened now. If any application that is already built, that is already in production, if the application is also there in production, for that application production which is there, it's very important for you to support. If there is any issue that occurs, it's the admin or support team of that application will take care of it. There are more than 1,000 applications, more than 10,000, 5,600 applications are being developed in Pega in the later 5 or 10 years. It's very important for individuals to carry out the functions. The developer will develop and they will be not available. They will be working on other application developments. It's the support and admin teams who need to pitch in there and to carry out the functionality. They'll be taking care of the application performance. They'll be taking care of any errors that got triggered. If any end user reports that there is an issue, it's the responsibility of support team and admin team to take care of it. There is a scope.
Okay. Thank you.
That's all for today's class. Any doubts? In
Hey
tomorrow's class?
Teja,
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
do you have any concept like application rules or rule set stack in further classes?
Yeah,
Or
we'll be having application rule set stack. First, it's very important for you to understand what is a rule set and rule set versions. Later, we'll understand application inheritance path, where I will be talking about application stack.
okay.
We have a separate lecture on inheritance. If you want, I've already shared the document in our Pega community. What are the classes? What are the?
Yeah,
I've
Teja.
already shared the syllabus. You can have a look into it.
Hello.
Clear? That's it. That's it for today. I'm just stopping the recording.